Hello there guys, I've just unlocked this. It's the rear-wheel drive Hoonigan Porsche. I haven't driven it yet, but I know that it's going to be hellish on corners. I'm going to be oversteering and going around corners like a pendulum because it's got a lot of weight in the back, like all 911s, because the engine's at the back instead of the front. So let's open it up. Hooning is not a crime. So yeah, that's the back end of these Porsches. It's always way too heavy, and I have a lot of trouble driving them. So I really should put something in there. That'd be good, just to balance it out a little bit, and it would give it a bit of extra traction, a bit of weight in the front, just to balance out the car. Nice bit of extra traction, and I'll be able to get around a corner. So yeah, this is the Hoonigan Porsche. You get it for getting to level 17 on the street scene, which is the biggest pain in the arse in the game that you'll ever have to do. I hate the street scene. I don't like that it's night time, and I also don't like that you crash into bloody people driving. On every time you go around a corner, someone's going to smack into you, and it's really annoying. However, what you've got to do, the other thing actually that I've not got yet, but you also get this on the street scene. If I go into my car horns, oh look, I haven't been in here much. Don't know if it's in this section. Where are you? Where are you? It's a legendary one. There it is, police siren. So I've unlocked police siren. There we go. So I'm going to be changing my horn for the second time since I started playing the game. I've had that wedding one for absolutely ages. So now I'm going to have police siren. So I do like driving around in my Aventador with the police livery on it. So that is my new siren. So let's get out of there, let's jump into the Porsche, and let's go and do some driving, see what it is like. And I'm going to have to be really careful on corners because I know, and any Porsche 911, I oversteer like a bitch. Another thing I wanted to say, let me just drive down the road a tiny bit. Oh, it's quite grippy. Didn't really wheel spin much, I expected it to. It's quite nice, actually. Anyway. Another thing I wanted to say, just in case anybody else has not noticed this, because I've only just discovered this. If I go into my map, if I want to teleport back up to the Horizon Festival, it's going to cost me money, 4,000 credits. Well, anywhere will cost me 4,000 credits because, I mean, I've got about 30 or so of the fast travel boards, so I'm down to 4,000 credits per teleport, so it doesn't matter where I go, it's the same. So yeah, I've been teleporting here regularly if I want to download a new tuning, have a look at my car, all that kind of stuff. So I teleport there quite often, and I'm always paying to do so. What I've only just noticed is if you go to cars, and then the main button in the middle, go to festival, you use that to teleport. It didn't cost you anything. I didn't know that. I just realized that today before starting to make this video. So you can see at the top, I've got 24,610,455. I'll teleport to the festival, and it doesn't take 4,000 of me. I'll still have 610,000 rather than 606. So yeah, if you haven't noticed that, then that is teleporting to where you can fiddle with your car, buy cars, go to the auction house, all that stuff, which you have to do quite often in this game without having... Ooh, just a sec. Let me do this while I'm thinking about it. So you don't have to... There we go. You don't have to pay to teleport somewhere to fix your car. So, now that's done, I want to talk about the street scene. When you get to level 9, you unlock this, the Marathon. And the Marathon is much nicer to drive than any of the street scene races. So I've got a couple of street scenes left, I think just 2. I'll just have a quick look. There it is. I wish this was in alphabetical order. So, I think I've got 2 left. Yeah, one over there, and one up there in Edinburgh. I think that's it. So yeah, I've got 2 of those left to do. I haven't done very well on any of them. I've done pretty terrible because I crash into things all the time. But as soon as I unlocked this, I stopped doing the street scenes and just started racing this race over and over again. And that gets you a lot more influence, and it's much more fun to do. It's not annoying. You do still crash into stuff. It is still night time, so I've been racing it with the driver line on full so I can see where I'm going properly. And also, I've been racing this in an A-spec car. So I'm using A-class because if I use S1 or S2, I'm way behind. I have a lot of trouble with it. I'm just going to fast travel there. Now, the car I've been using is the BMW M3, the Forza Edition one, which has the event influence. And I have tuned it so that it's a A-Class 800. Let's pop BMW BBBBB. Okay. So it's this one, the 1988 BMW M3 with the event influence boost. On Pro, I can win the marathon. On Unbeatable, I can't. On Unbeatable, I can't win in this car. I can get somewhere in the pack, maybe about 5th, but I've not managed to win on Unbeatable yet on that particular track. But on Pro, I can. So what I've been doing is as soon as I got to level 9, I unlocked the marathon, and then I was using this car with an A-Class tuning that takes it to 800, all-wheel drive. You can see the spec that I've got. So if you have a look on the tunings and match this spec, you'll have the same one as me. And with that, on Pro, I can win. I'm not a good driver, so you can probably win on Unbeatable. But the only reason I'm doing this is because any higher spec car than this, I'm nowhere. It's like, by the time I finish, they've all been finished for like 30 seconds or more. So what I'm going to do now, just to show you the marathon and to test out the new Porsche, I'm going to drive the marathon in the Porsche. But I warn you right now, it's a rear-wheel drive. It's a Porsche. The back end is very heavy. I'm going to be oversteering around corners. I'm going to try not to, but I know that that is a problem with my driving. Also, I have my settings on Pro, and I don't think I'm going to... It is a beautiful machine, isn't it? I love those matte red wheels. They're really nice, and they go really well with the white paint as well. I like this. I really like this combination. And I do like the Hoonigan logo. So yeah, I like this car a lot. It's very, very nice. Pain in the arse to unlock because the street scene is bloody annoying, but it's a nice car. It's worthwhile unlocking. Nice to drive, horrible to corner. Unless you know how to drive a Porsche. Which I'm not that great at. So difficulty settings, as I say, I'm down to Pro, and I've put the driving line on full because it's very, very helpful on a track that is nighttime, especially if, like me, it's usually quite bright in the room where you play. So, you know, you can't see the screen very well when it's dark. So that's a little bit annoying. There's just too many windows in here, but it's like 6:30 in the morning now, so it's not that bright. So, well, it would be, but it's a cloudy day. So let's get into it. This is the marathon. So yeah, I'm expecting to come last, but I'm going to... I'm quite surprised this car doesn't really wheel spin, which is nice, because quite a few of the more powerful cars, I mean, I'm wheel spinning all over the place at the beginning, finding them quite hard to control with my all-or-nothing acceleration. But not this one. But yeah, look at that. I mean, a couple of corners and they're already away. Ooh, get in. Oh, this back end is very heavy. Very heavy. I'm going to struggle with this on the sharp bends. So yeah, this track with the BMW, so the A-Class, it takes me, I'm not absolutely sure, but it's got to be about 8 minutes, something like that. In this car, it's probably going to be about 7.5 minutes. But we really try to get around here without doing any swinging of my back end. But it's not that bad to drive. You still get quite a few, normal cars crashing into you, which is very bloody annoying, but not as bad as the normal street scene races. There's a couple of corners that are absolute bitches on here. I don't like this one much. It's not too bad. That wasn't me, that car horn. If you heard it, that was someone outside. Because I've got a police siren. I might actually start using it now, but it's quite hard when, I mean, it's on my gear stick now. It's pushing my gear stick down. That's what activates my police siren. That's not a comfortable button to keep your finger on for a long time while you're listening to the police siren. Get out of the way. Don't know what happened to this guy. He must have crashed or something. There's not normally a straggler like this. They're normally all in one bunch. But yeah, it takes you through quite nice areas, this track. Quite like it. But I am overcautious. especially in a car that I don't really know. So this is my first experience of driving this car. Drives quite similar to all the other 911 Porsches that are in the game, horribly, with a very heavy back end that makes it very difficult to control around corners. So give me some tips, give me tips on how to drive a Porsche. Because I always, in every racing game, I struggle with these. Anything that's back end heavy, I have problems with. In fact, any heavy car I tend to have problems with, really. I tend to, oh my goodness, I wasn't last and now I am. Oh no, I'm still not last, there's a couple behind me. So maybe they crashed, maybe they went off the road, because I didn't consciously pass them. So maybe they went off the track and they had to reset themselves. But yeah, I struggle with any car that's heavy. Light cars I find much, much easier to drive. I think it's because I don't brake early enough, so I think that's kind of one of my problems in game, is braking distances. So because of that, I'm being a bit overcautious on the brakes. I'm trying to get into the habit of braking earlier, and maybe I'm doing it a little bit too soon. It's a bit more windy than the Goliath, this one. So, not so much so that you'd near like a low gear ratio. There are quite a few long straights. But there's... Look at you, really in the way. Sod it. Right, my aim is to not come last. Okay? And I don't want to not come last because someone gets stuck in a tree. They do. There's a bit up here where they often go off the track. They always make this corner. Actually, no, it's not. It's a little bit later on, but it's a similar kind of area to this, driving through the forest. And there's a piece where they quite often go off the track and get stuck. And I don't think those ones get unstuck either. I think they just end up just, you know, kissing the tree for the rest of the race. I like this bit. Not so much in this car, but I do like it in the BMW M3. I think that's an unnecessary noise. But it's like you've driven through a Ford, but it's barely even a puddle. It's like the sound effects for driving through very small puddles are ridiculous. It's like your car's plunged into a river. Actually, the day I passed my driving test, the very first thing, shit, that back end is so heavy. Yeah, the day I passed my driving test, the very first thing I then did is I drove out to a little village called Sheepy Magna or Sheepy Parva. I'm not sure which one it is. They both exist. They're both very close to each other, just along from Fenny Drayton, which is where the Myra test track is, which I mentioned in a previous video. That's the one that Jeremy Clarkson talks about a fair bit on Top Gear. It's just outside of Nuneaton, the town where I grew up, and it's where they test cars. So yeah, it's just down the road from there. It's a little village called Sheepy Parva or Sheepy Magna. Anyway, they have a Ford, like a little river running across the road, one of those things. And the day I passed my driving test, the very first thing I did is I drove out to that Ford, and then I drove through it as fast as my car would go. It was like being on the log flume. It was awesome. Then I stopped, turned around, and did it again. I did it for about 45 minutes. There we go, he's crashed into somebody. So he will recover, so he's probably going to catch me up in a bit, but that happens a lot. So yeah, that's the first thing I did when I passed my test. I think everyone goes on a bit of a mad half hour when you're allowed to be in a car by yourself for the first time. So my mad 45 minutes was driving backwards and forwards through this Ford, seeing how big a wave I could make with my car. And it was awesome. So yeah, a lot of fun, hell of a lot of fun. But this is not going too badly. I'm very overcautious. I'm not driving well, but I'm driving a lot better than I was expecting in this car. So not far to go. It's just across here. See that bend on the mini-map that goes round towards the two rights after each other? You go round this bend, down the hill, and then there's two rights. This is the bit where everyone goes off the road, just down here. There's normally a couple of cars stuck in those trees on the left there, but not this time. It's a bit overcautious. So yeah, as you can see, it's not nearly as annoying as the street scene. There's not so many cars on the road, probably because it's night time. Oh, they're all night time, isn't it? What am I talking about? All the street scenes are night time. There's always a bloody car at the point where you have to come around a corner like that. That one wasn't in a bad place, but quite often they're exactly on the line that you want to take. Get behind me. I don't want to come last. Ooh, shit. My mission is to not come last, and we're near the end. You have to slow down. I've got to speed up. Oh, I've only got 5 gears. So yeah, there we go. This is the marathon. And it's a track that laps, so you can do as many of these as you like. So if you get in a car where you can win on this... Yeah, I'm not going to come last, I'm not going to come last. Oh, shit. What? Oh my God, I am going to come last. Oh, you bitch. Oh, so there we go. I didn't expect to win. I do really struggle on anything above A-class on that track. Really struggle with it. So, I mean, look at that. 7:53 and I was an 8:31. It's embarrassing. But on the A-class, tuned, as I say, to the 800, the BMW M3, the 1980-something one, that is the Forza Edition Influence, I can win on that on Pro. Not on Unbeatable, but on Pro I can win. So exactly the race I've just run. And doing that gets your influence up quicker. So what I'm going to do now, after this video, is I am going to just change my settings for my controller to just one where I can do 3. Look, any of these will do. There we go. And I've got a change view button as well. Yes. I hate I don't have a change view button normally. So yeah, look at this. Isn't it beautiful? So yeah, I love that kind of matte paint. I mean, it's not matte, but it's certainly not gloss. The white and the wheels. Let's just get into a bit of sun. I don't know what button changes my gears because I paid no attention. Is it this? Oh shit, that's rewind. That was the B button, so on whatever this is, B button is rewind. I'll just brake the engine while I drive into the sunshine. Yeah, it's a nice car. Very nice car. So worthwhile persevering with the street scene to get this. Get up to level 9, then open the marathon. Race the marathon. If you're good enough to do it in anything above A-class, then do that, because obviously you can do it faster. If you're struggling with it, then I recommend checking out that BMW and doing it in that. It does have the event influence. It doesn't give you a great deal of extra points, but every point counts when you're doing a race that you don't enjoy. When you're grinding, you want to be in the best car to make your grind the most efficient that you can. So for me, that is the BMW. I'm just going to jump in it now. So yeah, I'll show you the spec again. I don't know who I downloaded this from, but it was one of the top 5, the 1988 one. So it's one of the top 5 specs. It was to get to 800 in an A-class, all-wheel drive, and then those stats, so 7.7, 8.9, 9.9, and 7.5. That, for me, is quite easy to drive, and yeah, I can quite easily beat the marathon on Pro with this, but I haven't managed to beat it on Unbeatable. And it's nice as well. I love those wheels. Yeah, I like this car quite a lot. So let's get back to a nice one of these. So yeah, I don't have, this is the Xbox. It goes from default 1 all the way up to default 16. There is no custom option. And if you go into this advanced things, it's just all this, like dead zones and all that kind of stuff. There's no move your buttons around. If anyone on Xbox knows how to configure your controller so that I can put stuff where I want it to be, then tell me, because I haven't managed to find anything that allows me to do that. But this is my favorite one. I did say in my video I'm going to try this one. I am going to try this one, but not yet. This is the one that I'm going to try. So I'm going to go into advanced on here, see if it does anything different. No possibility of moving buttons about. Very, very annoying. So yeah, just the options of what's TTS? TTS? Oh, I'll put it on TTS and see what that is. What button is it? It's the down one. I don't know what that is. I'm pressing it. Nothing's happening. Oh, that's radio, isn't it? Oh, that's not. Oh, it's okay. I'm on streamer mode. What's this one do? Nothing. That does nothing. That does nothing. So I've got a couple of buttons here that do absolutely nothing. I don't know what TTS is. Is it something to do with speaking, like chatting to your team, stuff like that? Oh, and then if you're in this this system, you have to go to your settings and to your HUD to be able to change your view, which is a bit annoying, really. So yeah, this is the M5. Oops. It's really nice. Really, really nice to drive. This tuning makes it very, very easy, and you can win that marathon with it quite easily on Pro. I mean, if you've got a bit more skill than me, which I think most people have, you can probably get it on Unbeatable. I reckon with a bit of practice, I could have that on Unbeatable. And that is what I'm going to do once I close this video. I'm going to set that to Unbeatable. Whoops. Now I'm stuck in someone's front garden. So yeah, I am now going to close down the video. I'm going to set the marathon to Unbeatable, and I'm going to try and win in this car and get my street scene up to level 20. I might go and complete those other two as well, because I've got 2 street scenes left, so I might as well just get the full set. And then whatever I unlock for doing that, if it's something exciting, I will tell you about it. So there we go, guys. That is all from me for now. I'll probably be back a little bit later on this morning, but I do need to drink a little bit more coffee because it's very, very early. So you take care and have a wonderful day wherever you are in the world. Leave some comments, thumbs up or down, you know the score. I'll see you all soon. Take care. Bye-bye.